Alright, here we go. DEFCON 1, pulling out all the stops. Apparently I got 5 days left to make this happen. The quest for a pardon. $25,000. Yeah, this is a lot more than $25,000. I thought about it all last night. Was I going to do $25,000 or $50,000? I can do either amount, but you know what? $25,000. Because I may be just throwing the money away. I may be getting a pardon in the next couple of days. I may be on the pardon list, but I can't be sure. Nobody's confirmed it to me. I'm probably not. It was 1 in a million. And Cameo's thrown an obstacle my way. Maria Bartiromo has thrown a long time obstacle in my way. And then January 6th really derailed the quest for a pardon, preempting my appearance on Cinchfield, on Newsmax, and other media. After the Capitol chaos, all new kinds of news stories were created after that, right? So I've had trouble making a news story from this quest for a pardon, which absolutely is newsworthy. And some of the videos given to me from the people on Cameo targeting Trump's biggest celebrity friends and supporters, some of them by themselves are newsworthy. So it's been frustrating, but I could be in. I might have a pardon. But just in case I'm not, might as well pull out all the stops. So $25,000 to the person that shares the story, newsball.com/pardon. Share the link on your social media. The person that gets the most interactions, likes, comments, retweets, whatever, shares, most combined interactions on your post, whether it's on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, will get $25,000 from me in February 2021 if I'm pardoned. So you may get 25 grand for doing nothing other than getting 10 likes on your post, because I don't know who's going to see this. Maybe only 300 people are going to see this. And if a lot of them are like, oh, I'm not going to get the money, or oh, he's never going to get a pardon, so they're not going to participate in this contest, you may win the 25 grand for simply sharing this story, newsball.com/pardon, on your Facebook or your Twitter or your Instagram. And then go to my pinned tweet or go to Newsball's Facebook page, the top post, the mashup video, and post your link that shows off your post, that shows off that you shared it. And that way, if you want to be eligible and you think you're in the running, so we could see it. Obviously, none of it matters. Not going to look at it unless I get the pardon. But if you, today, January 15th, or the 16th, or the 17th, or the 18th, you go and post online and you get 10 likes and 5 shares and 6 comments, and then I get a pardon on the 19th, and you show me, and yours is, nobody else shows me a bigger one, and it's got to be posted, obviously, before the pardon date. We're going to see it on the news or we're not. Then if you had the most interactions on your post, you get $25,000 from me. Plain and simple. I am more than happy to throw away $25,000 for a pardon. And I'm fine throwing it away even if I didn't need to spend the money, because I've already put in the work. I already did 2 months now of non-stop hard work, drive, and determination after brainstorming a cool-ass way to get a pardon. Apprentice style. A 1 in a million miracle for a pardon. And I earned it. And President Trump will give it. I know it. I believe in it. If he sees that page. So, hey, President Trump, look at this guy's quest for a pardon. It's all right here. Look at those videos from your friends. You know, some of them are funny, and they're all asking for you to pardon this guy. So, say whatever you want to say. Include the link. Share the story. If you get the attention of someone in his administration, like Corey Lewandowski, which I already sent messages to him through Cameo. He has been one of the ones to not acknowledge It's kind of been disappointing, but I don't know what all the legalities are. Maybe he's not allowed to talk about, not allowed to acknowledge his pardons, especially on Cameo, where it's it deals in financial transactions. But this is not paying for a pardon or anything like that. This is simply asking you to share my quest for a pardon story, and if I should happen to get the pardon, we're gonna just assume you were the reason why I got the pardon. If you're the one that had the most interactions on your shared post or your shared tweet. All right, so people that are disqualified, like Johnny Damon of the Yankees, he gave me a really cool video, and he supposedly told Eric Trump about my page. I don't know at what point, it was weeks ago, before the chaos at the Capitol. He doesn't count. If he may be the reason I get the pardon, I feel such gratitude to him. But obviously, he made $50 million in his career. He doesn't need a pardon, or he doesn't need $25,000. So we're gonna assume it wasn't him. And Isaiah Washington, Dr. Burke from Grey's Anatomy, he supposedly told Laura Trump and some others. But I'm not too sure, how serious that was, or if they were really listening to him. So he doesn't count. And Robert Davey from the Goonies, he said he told some higher ups weeks ago, before he even made the mashup video version, to really catch people's attention. So share that too. That's in the article. It's all in the article. Newsball.com/pardon. So the celebrities that have supposedly put in a good word for me, they don't count. And I told Sean Spicer, who obviously was in the administration, now he's got a show on Newsmax. He ignored my booking request to do a video for me 3 times, but then I was persistent on that. I sent messages to him at $19 a pop, and then he said, "We'll pass along." He'll pass it along. So I may have caught President Trump's attention. I may be on the list of pardons, but I feel I've been feeling more and more demoralized, more and more depressed that I'm going to get on that pardon list, because I don't know, supposedly most people get a call from the White House saying, hey, you're going to be pardoned in a week or 2. That hasn't happened, and there's only 5 days left. So I don't have much confidence in it, but $25,000 to the person that shares my pardon story on their social media, and if I get pardoned, then you get $25,000 if you're the one that had the most interactions on your page. It could be someone with 10 likes, or maybe some big shot, big influencer comes along and gets 1,000 likes on their post. I need someone that your post is going to be seen by someone in the administration that is going to say, hey, yeah, this is a cool ass pardon. Let's include this guy's pardon along with all of the other pardons that are coming down, because President Trump should be trying to pardon some regular people, should be trying to pardon some people that don't have lobbying powers, just to balance out his pardon list, so that his haters aren't so critical of who he's been pardoning, which are mainly big headliners and people that have connections to him and can help him. And I can help him. I got newsball.com, and it's growing. It's got 100,000 subscribers, and it's growing, and it could help carry on his legacy and spread his messages. So obviously, if you're a liberal, you're not going to be helping me with this. And on a separate point, I just want to talk very briefly. So I have a 34-minute video where it's my most important video ever. Very proud of the video, all done in one take. And it's about why the 2020 election was rigged. And I do not talk whatsoever about anything that has to do with the accusations that are in those 60 court cases that all got denied. I do not talk anything whatsoever about QAnon or any other conspiracies, okay? I do not talk about any of that stuff. I really recommend you go watch that video, challenging you to think outside the box, challenging you to really wonder or think, why are you voting Democrat, okay? Because these things that you say about Republicans, like, oh, they suppressed the vote, gerrymandering, those things are to offset what Democrats are doing. So I just want to briefly sum up that why I say the election is rigged has nothing to do with conspiracy theories. I don't believe in the conspiracy theories. It has nothing to do with all of the accusations of votes being added or votes being subtracted. Oh, what did that person just do under the table? They pulled something out. Or what happened? Look at that mail. Look at that trash can. There's all these ballots thrown away. I'm not talking about any of that stuff. So don't dismiss me. I'm not a QAnon nut. They are wacky. I don't believe in any of that stuff. Although, obviously, Jeffrey Epstein and Clinton, and there's a lot of Hollywood people. That one guy that's been, he disappeared out of the country, the jacuzzi 15, 20 years ago. What, something, Romowski or whatever, something like that, you know, molested a 15-year-old in the jacuzzi, raped her, fled to Switzerland or something like that. Roman Pulowski, something like that. So there's stories of obviously pedophilia and things like that, but I don't know about satanic worshiping and pedophiles and all this and that. Probably, possibly, who knows? Who knows? But QAnon's crazy. I don't know anything about their stuff. All I want to say is, how can you, especially like the only people, illegal immigrants, and their relatives and family and friends of theirs, that's the only people that would agree with this. How can white people or hardworking black people or hardworking Mexicans or Asians agree with Democrats attacking voting with an ID? They say voting with an ID is racist, and their constant attack on voting with an ID as racist because it's white privilege, or only, you know, poor people shouldn't have to have an ID. How can you agree with that? And so what's happened is it has opened the doors to expand mail-in voting more and more. Places down like in San Diego, okay, I know a girl, she said when she just voted in the 2020 election, she didn't have to show ID whatsoever. And that's how it is. And California, I showed in that 34-minute video, I opened up a ballot I received in the mail. I never asked for a ballot. So there's no security with mass mail-in ballots. Signatures don't have to match. You don't need an ID. It's like the Wild West, and it's a shame. It's such a shame for our democracy. How can you be for that? How can you be for that kind of low quality vote? You know, we have high quality votes and low quality votes. When you go vote in person, that would assume that you took your time, your energy, and your effort to go vote. That you cared enough about an issue to go vote, and that says something. And let's assume that most votes in person are high quality votes because of that stuff. While let's assume most votes by mail are low quality votes because you didn't need to take the time, energy, or effort to vote, and you didn't have to show ID, and you may be among the millions that received a ballot, didn't want a ballot, but maybe you assumed it was necessary, required, like the censuses, and so you thought of who your favorite Hollywood celebrities said to vote for, which they all said Biden, and so you voted Biden. And there's, without a doubt, 1 million, 2 million, 5 million votes for Biden were because of that. And so when Trump loses Georgia, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Arizona, and Nevada, all by like 10,000 votes each, then how can you not go, you know, like, yeah, we should have only high quality votes, because Biden would have had 5 million votes less. And then, of course, some dead people voted. How many? Who knows? 10,000 dead people's ballots were voted upon by their family, friends, or relatives. People that moved, and then the new residents got that person's ballot. How many of those people voted for that person? In this age of super polarization and everyone living in their ecosystems, where now conservatives are being thrown off Twitter and all social media and banned and silenced, and a conspiracy. This is a conspiracy that is obviously out in the open. Google, Amazon, and Apple all teaming up to get rid of Parler so conservatives can't go anywhere. You should believe that a higher percentage than normal, which they say, oh, voter fraud, we can never find proof of it, you know, it's so rare. Yeah, it's because there's never been a polarized time like this where people are willing to do extreme crazy things. So that's all I'm saying. That if you're Democrat, you should really, really want high quality votes. Both sides, everyone, we should all want high quality votes. And we did not get that on the 2020 election. Very, very low quality votes were happening for Biden because mass unsolicited mail-in ballots. Millions of people got ballots that did not ask for them. And we just will never know how many people did not want to even vote, but they got a ballot. So they were confused and thought they had to do it. People that are like making meth in their basement and haven't watched a minute of news, don't know a damn thing about anything other than Ariana Grande said, hey, Trump's a bad man, so vote Biden. So we voted Biden. There's tons and tons. Of course, common sense says there's going to be a chunk of votes like that. And dead people voted. There's going to be a chunk of votes. They don't update the voter rolls every year. That's a common fact. So Democrats have been destroying democracy in that way. And by importing illegal immigrants into this country to put them on welfare to vote Democrat. Like, this is a common thing. This is common sense. This is what they're doing. Middle of the night vote dumps. 98% vote dumps for the Democrat senator on January 5th runoff election. Just look at it. Newsball.com/98%. Spell out percent. 98%. Look it up. Like, look at that. That was so impossible of a ratio. And CNN anchors were just laughing about it. So, you want to attack voting with an ID, and you want to have mass unsolicited mail-in ballots, and you want to do middle. Why is it always middle of the night? Just some Democrat county is the last to give votes so they can see what's left. Like, that's a common sense question to make. And is this illegal? Is this not free speech for me to even question that anymore? And it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. And that is why the election was rigged. It has nothing to do with any of the things that were presented in the courts. I just don't know why the Trump administration could not get a case to the Supreme Court for the Supreme Court to say that mail-in voting is unconstitutional, or in the very least, mass unsolicited mail-in voting is unconstitutional. I just don't know why they couldn't get a case there. Maybe you can only get a case there for them to announce something so huge of a proclamation. You have to start with an example of something. So they tried to start with an example of fraud. But how do you really prove fraud when the fraud itself is the entire system of mass unsolicited mail-in votes? That whole scheme. Just like you said, tell me, and I put this in that 34-minute video, if you try to make me prove the bugs, how many bugs died in my pool last month, I can't tell you, but we know that it happened. It's common sense that bugs, flies, mosquitoes float in the water and die in the pool, but they're not there anymore, so I can't prove it. Just like, this is the same thing. It's so crazy. Prove that there was evidence of voter fraud. How do you prove that? The fraud was that you sent out millions of ballots to people that didn't ask for ballots, and then what do you think? A lot of them are going to send them back in for Biden because all of Hollywood's against Trump and they said he's a bad man, so people got confused. People had to vote. Dead people's ballots were mailed out. People that moved, their ballots were mailed out, and some of those ballots got filled out by people and turned in. And it's just common sense that happened, because this is a highly polarized time and people are willing to do crazy things to have removed President Trump. And when you can vote by mail and you get a ballot, more likely that the votes will get bribed, that people will go round up people's ballots for $1 each. You cannot pay $1 for a vote when they have to go vote in person. Their time, energy, effort's too much. So we should all want high quality votes, or we should just make 16-year-olds allowed to vote. Make anyone in high school be allowed to vote, because we don't let them vote because we assume that that's a low quality vote. They're uninformed. They don't know that much. That's what we assume about underage voters, so we don't let them vote. So why do we let people vote that did not ask for ballots and yet they got ballots in the mail? Why do we allow that? Tell me. Tell me how I am a QAnon freak, because I don't care about QAnon. I don't know anything about QAnon whatsoever. Tell me how I am a conspiracy theorist that was influenced by President Trump, that I am such a gullible victim of President Trump's lies. See, what he said, his accusations, and how he was trying to get a case taken to the Supreme Court. I guess that's how you have to start a case to the Supreme Court. You know, I'm not spouting any of that stuff, any of those accusations. And the people that say, oh my God, 74, they're all just, believing President Trump and that he caused this, all this violence, and it's like, it has nothing to do with any of that. Like, this is common sense. I was screaming at the TV for 2 months, President Trump, talk about this, and this, the things that I've just told you now. So it's that much common sense. So I have a hatred for Democrats that they want to just project and flip the tables and say gerrymandering and you're suppressing the vote. Yeah, well, because you are attacking the high quality votes so that you can have more and more low quality votes in the elections to come, with mass unsolicited mail-in ballots being expanded. And I guarantee the voting age will drop to 16 and 14 because it's just so easy to influence younger people on TikTok and Instagram with celebrities all saying vote Democrat all the time, because that's Hollywood's liberal, and that's how young people get brainwashed into that. So it's coming, it's inevitable, and Supreme Court needed to rule that mail-in ballots are unconstitutional. That if you care to vote, you should have to go vote in person. It's that simple. It's common sense, and I would never, ever am going to vote again, or ever. I never have, but I got a ballot anyways. And I'm in California, so it doesn't matter much. But I'm never going to vote. I'm so demoralized from voting. It's just a rigged, stupid, fake system where both sides try to do all these little schemes and these scams to, one-up the other person. And Democrats are winning with all the ways that I've just said in this. It's totally a sad, depressing time that we're in for voting. It's a disgrace. Supreme Court, unless I see that they rule mail-in ballots unconstitutional, I don't believe in the voting system. It's a disgrace to democracy. America deserves better. So Trump did not destroy democracy. Democrats have been destroying democracy. And that's it. And now back to my quest for a pardon. You got 4 or 5 days, people. Share the story, newsball.com/pardon. Let's see what happens. I got some revelations to do and everything later this year if I don't get the pardon. And I will sue Maria Bartiromo. And then we'll see what happens with Biden.